Peace and blessings, everyone. You are now in tune to the second episode of Shomari Speaks His Mind, the audio files. I want to say give thanks to all of my supporters, the people that have continued to take a little bit of time out of their day to listen to my audio clips. Sincerely, this is just something that I decided to do because I like to, empty my bowl, so to speak. And as you all know, I'm into production, so I figured why not press record while I'm doing it. The ultimate goal and the ultimate plan is to eventually create some sort of a platform that I can have dialogue with my supporters. Maybe some sort of something. Well, but as time goes along, it will grow into what it grows into. For right now, it's just something that I've found interest in doing, and hopefully you guys will share this time with me. I was thinking about something the other day. Actually, I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about how it is said that all people are born with some sort of God-given skill or some sort of God-given talent. And the discussion was really about how do you find what that God-given skill or God-given talent is. We were talking about some people are able to see that and find that early in their life. And we can use, I guess, successful musical artists as good examples of this. Because when you think about, when you do research on people like, Jay-Z and whoever, and in most cases, most of the successful musical artists, and I'll use that example because that's a talent that they were able to achieve success with. They were able to monetize it. But when you check their history, they've been doing it since they were very young. They were doing it since they were very young. So I use that as an example of a person that was able to find what it is that they were good at, what they were passionate about, and over time grow into what we see now. Like, for example, a Jay-Z or a Lil Wayne. You see he's been rapping since he was a kid. Most of the people that we see that are talented. But anyway, to get back to this, we were talking about everybody else, like all the other people that don't find that talent as youngsters. You know what I mean? But I mean, that doesn't take away from that statement that we all are born with some sort of God-given ability. So after you get a certain age and you haven't, you haven't found what that passion is, how do you go about finding it? Is it at that point something that, I guess it is at any point, that it's something that you just feel really happy doing, something that you really, really enjoy, and it's just a matter of putting the time into it to perfect that craft? I guess our discussion and our conversation was really about how is it that you find what it is that, that talent that you were given by God, as people would say. How do we as individuals find what it is and then tap into it? I thought that was very interesting, because a lot of times you might have somebody that you might have people that, are truly ambitious people, meaning that they have a desire to achieve what their God-given talent is. They're able to put time into that skill and then at some point in their life become successful and be able to monetize that skill and that talent, right? Everybody else kind of just, gets a job and works for their works, because if you think about it, most people, I don't want to say most people, but I think a lot of people are not, they may have a profession, but I don't know if that's something that they really, really desire and have a passion to do. I mean, I would think that, when you go to school, you go to college, it's because you go for something that you're interested in. And then I guess if you end up in the workforce, ideally it's something that you were interested in, that you went to seek education, and then you ended up being able to apply that into something that you wanted to do anyway. But in a lot of cases, that's not really the situation. A lot of cases, we end up getting jobs because we have to pay the bills. And then you kind of get stuck on that merry-go-round, that wheel, so to speak, of you got a job to pay the bills. Now you can't leave that job because you need to pay the bills. And that kind of, if you do have some sort of talent or skill, it may take away from putting time into growing that, because, After going to work for somebody 8 hours a day, you have to have discipline now after that to come back and put whatever it is, whatever time that you need to put into whatever skill that you have to be able to make something of it. You know what I mean? So for those folks that were not lucky enough to find what it is that they were passionate about as youngsters before life kicked in, before responsibility kicked in, because if you think about all the famous people, all the people that were able to achieve what they achieved, most of them didn't find that skill as adults when they already had to start paying bills. They found it when they were under the care of someone else. For example, I think Jay-Z's story was his mom might have bought him, he was rapping and beatboxing on the table in the kitchen. But anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. All the people that we know that are of some sort of success when it comes to skill or talent, their God-given skill. I don't want to talk about business people because business people, then again, I don't want to not talk about business people, because a God-given skill could be somebody was given the talent of math, or given the talent of understanding, or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to go off track. The point I'm making is that it's just not, God-given talent is just not artistry. It could be, different things. You know what I mean? Like you got to say, let's use Warren Buffett, for example. Warren Buffett there was something in him that drove him to become who he was. And I recall listening to an interview with him, and he said that he didn't want to sound, arrogant or anything like that. But he said that at a very young age, he knew himself that he was going to be rich. So that's something in him. Our conversation, once again, was about all those other people. How do the people that didn't know from a young age what it is that they were passionate about, how do we find those things? Is it simply a matter of taking what it is that you like and putting the time into making something of it? Anyway, that was the conversation that I had. Hopefully I wasn't kind of all over the map with that. In these episodes of Shomari Speaks His Mind, I pick up the microphone, I put my headphones on, and I simply just press record. So stay tuned for the next episode. Just to recap, a summary of what I was just talking about. The conversation that I was having with a friend of mine was, it is said that all humans are given a God-given talent at birth, and it's a matter of us as individuals to find what that talent is, to hone into it, and to make something of it. How do we find that talent? How do we seek out that talent, find out what it is, to be able to now know that we got to put time into this? Where does it come from? Where do we find it? How do we find it? If you guys have any comments, if you guys have anything to say, any insight, definitely drop some comments below this post. And like I said before, I appreciate everybody that takes the time out to listen to the Shomari Speaks His Mind episodes, the audio episodes. I definitely want to open an invitation to folks that might be interested in being a guest on my podcast, the Shobi TV podcast. Definitely looking for people that have interesting stories. Definitely looking for entrepreneurs, people that are business owners, people that are also, I'd like to talk to those people, even based on what I'm talking about now, those people that have found what it is that they feel their God-given talent is and are now putting the time into it, or have put time into it and have become successful with whatever it is that talent or skill is. So if that's you, let's talk about it. Even if it's you and you have it on your mind in regards to how could you find that talent, let's have that conversation as well. But anyway, this is Shomari Speaks His Mind, episode 2, the audio files. Give thanks for everybody that takes time to listen to what I have to say. Like I said before, this is just me pressing record and speaking what's on my mind. So blessed love to everybody. Until next time, peace, blessings, one love. Peace.